Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This year, inshallah, Jalsa Salana UK, we are expecting 1,500 women to attend Jalsa. And children are not allowed to attend because in this country they haven't received 2 doses of the vaccine yet. And only those people who have been double vaccinated can attend the Jalsa. This figure for women's attendance or Lajna's attendance has been kept in accordance with that, because we did realize that some women who have young children or who have children will choose to stay with them. This figure was chosen keeping that into mind. I always say that this Jalsa Salana UK is a very special Jalsa, because although it is Jalsa Salana UK, but it is an international Jalsa and it is Huzur's Jalsa. And although this particular Jalsa this year is not an international Jalsa, but every step of the way we received blessed guidance from Huzur Anwar, Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasril Aziz, like we do every year. So as this year we knew that the circumstances were different because of the pandemic. We knew that we had to put certain safety measures in place, and under Huzur's guidance that we received every step of the way, a COVID pandemic committee was made, and that committee gave its recommendations which were presented to Huzur Anwar for further guidance and approval. And this committee met several times. They consulted NHS, they consulted other healthcare professionals, and the Muslim Medical Association was consulted, and I was also part of that committee. And as a GP as well, I was consulted several times about various measures that we could put into place to make it a safe Jalsa for attendees and for everyone. And keeping those recommendations in mind, it is decided that only those people who have received double vaccination can attend. As we have to have a socially distant Jalsa as well, where we will try and keep everyone a certain distance away from each other when they're sitting down and listening to Jalsa and watching Jalsa, it meant that the number had to be limited as well. And as we know that this pandemic and this illness affects elderly people much more than it affects the younger people, so the age limit has been set between 18 to 65, and from within that age group, obviously people would be selected, because still a limited number can attend, as I said, because of social distancing and to make it safe for everyone. And those people will be selected at random, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, Lajna Ima'illah is very fortunate, and we are blessed that we get the opportunity not only to organize and to run and to hold our own side at Jalsa Salana, you can say, but we also have our own program on Saturday. A first half of Saturday morning is a Lajna only program where there are Lajna speakers and Lajna members. They do tilawat and recite nazms. And then obviously the most important part of Jalsa for Lajna Ima'illah is that Huzur blesses us and he addresses us live directly, this is such a special moment for us that inshallah this year as well we would have the same setup. There is no change. With regards to the morning program, which is speeches delivered by Lajna speakers, this year was no different at all. And every year, alhamdulillah, we are very blessed that Huzur chooses the speakers on Lajna side. So we had the same procedure, and alhamdulillah Huzur chose Lajna speakers and speech titles as well for that session, the same. So the pandemic did not have an impact on that. Also, as I think people have seen through MTA as well, that after Hazur Anwar's address, there's usually a tarana. And this year, although Nasrat will not be taking part, but Lajna is preparing for that tarana. And although we can't meet physically, but through other electronic means, they've been preparing for it. If allowed, inshallah, they will also be able to recite the tarana. Alhamdulillah, Jamaat UK is extremely blessed and fortunate that UK is Markaz, and Khilafat has been present in this country for decades now. And I feel that in those years, UK Jamaat has been trained by Khalifa Waqt quite extensively. That's why we have amazing pool of workers and volunteers in Lajna, Khudam, Ansar, in every part of Jamaat. And same for Jalsa Salana as well. This is all because of Hazur's training and his guidance over the years that we are able to conduct this Jalsa. And for keeping that in mind, there are no challenges because, as I said, Jalsa workers have been trained over the course of last few decades. But I guess because it used to be a large-scale Jalsa, so looking after 15,000 or 20,000 women was muscle memory. So bringing that down to 1,500 means logistically you have to change things. Also, you have to reduce the workforce as well. So those were the only challenges, that we had to reduce the workforce and think about it differently. Like, it is going to be the same exciting Jalsa. It is going to be, it would have the same spirit, inshallah, Jalsa Salana, but we have to think slightly differently. There is also another challenge that I would like to, and I've been thinking about, and actually Jalsa, whether big or small, obviously it bears the same responsibility. It is Jalsa Salana, it has an international importance, it would be watched on MTA worldwide, inshallah. Is that when it is a large scale Jalsa, obviously people are aware that there might be some mistakes that can happen. In a small Jalsa, there is no room for mistakes, I think. So this is what we've been talking about within our teams as well, that we have to have always, Hazur reminds us every year Jalsa, that we have to keep smiling and we have to show the best of our morals and akhlaq to people and be most courteous. And I think when you are conducting a Jalsa at a smaller scale, you have to be extra careful about that. And this is something that we've been reminding our teams as well. As I said earlier, that there's a lot of planning that has gone behind preparation for this particular Jalsa Salana. And in discussion within the COVID response committee, we realized that staying together, different people from different households, carries an increased risk of transmission of infection. And so it's not safe for people to stay together. So this is why earlier on, Jamaat UK sent out information to members that there would not be any accommodation at Jalsa this year. So we are not organising any accommodation for Lajna at this Jalsa this year, and they're aware of it, and people have made their own arrangements in that regard. Last year was a difficult year for humanity worldwide, and obviously that difficulty was shared by Jamaat as well, with regards to pandemic, illness, loss, death, grief, separation, not being able to meet family, etc. But I think there is another added element that Jamaat missed seeing Hazur and being able to offer their prayers behind Hazur. And this is something that I kept hearing time and time again, Alhamdulillah, I think MTA is such a blessing that we were able to see Hazur every Friday sermon, and then obviously with this week with Hazur and with virtual mulaqats, this has been such an immense blessing. Alhamdulillah. And Hazur has kept our spirits high in that regard, and never let us despair or feel sad about it. I know several mulaqats as well, if I have had expressed my opinion about this sadness, it always lifted my morals as well. But people have missed, Lajna have missed being able to offer prayers behind Hazur or being able to see. And I think last year when Jalsa didn't happen, it hit people really hard. They were sad. They were really, really sad last year. And this year, Jalsa Salana inshallah will give those who are attending an opportunity to be able to offer their prayers behind Hazur and to be able to see Hazur after such a long time. And I've been getting messages of excitement. Those who have yet not been told whether they are coming or whether they would be able to come want to offer their services for duties. Those who, because we had to cut down the numbers, those who were not chosen for duty are feeling it because they know that this would have given them an opportunity to see Hazur. But those who would make sacrifices, for example, women who have younger kids and have to stay at home with them, they would also enjoy Jalsa through MTA, and they would also make a blessed days out of it, those 3 days, and gain all the spiritual blessings of it. And inshallah, next year they will return. Things will get back to normal. So people also understand that. But Lajna are really excited. I'm getting so many messages about this, and someone thought they may not be able to come because of a reason, and I know they were crying, and then they found out that they could come, and they were so happy. So emotions are really, and I know it is obviously Jalsa Salana is a huge thing in our Jamaat and a huge milestone every year. But this particular Jalsa is special because they would be able to see Hazur after such a long time. And I think it would be a privilege to see that love and emotion firsthand. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not nervous because a lot of preparation has gone into this Jalsa, and I think it's not just about preparation. I'm not nervous because we are doing everything under Hazur Anwar's blessed guidance, and he has guided us to the dot, I would say. Everything, every aspect of Jalsa, we have received guidance from Hazur almost on daily basis. So, and Hazur has also been keeping an close eye on the situation as well with the pandemic and everything. And so I know that Hazur's prayers are with us, so I'm not scared. And inshallah, Jamaat is putting these safety measures in place as well to keep everyone, if people follow the rules, if people follow the guidance of social distancing, wearing a mask, etc., and washing their hands, and that inshallah it will be fine. This Jalsa is going to be very unique. We've never had a Jalsa like this, and just like Jamaat adapted to new ways immediately as soon as the pandemic hit us, inshallah this is a first as well, and hopefully the last too, inshallah. But obviously this Jalsa is unique but also very special, and as I said, it's because UK Jamaat members will be seeing Hazur after such a long time, and I think that emotion is something I'm really keen, and also I feel I would be privileged to witness, and I think those emotions would be both ways, as we know that I think as Khalifa Salis Rahimahullah Ta'ala once said that Jamaat and Khalifa are one and the same. So I know Hazur also would be really pleased to see Jamaat members, and likewise, and I'm sure there will be tears, I'm sure there will be joy, I'm sure there will be nare and emotions. So inshallah, this would be one to remember forever.